Okay, welcome to more Crazyhouse madness. This is my strongest variant, but Okay, so I've just opened a spot to get forked into the Oblivion as a popular choice. We're gonna want to get that knight out of. For anyone who doesn't know the rules to Crazyhouse, I might have explained it in the first Crazyhouse video that I did. But in case I didn't, basically, if you capture your opponent's piece, it becomes a piece of your color that you can then put onto the board anywhere you want instead of making a move. So where do I want this knight? I guess I'll go ahead and attack this pawn real quick, get my bishop out, and then bring the knight back. The point being that it's actually pretty hard to find good places to put your pieces in a Crazyhouse game, so still no trades. Let's see, I could take that pawn, he takes my knight, I put one here, but then he has a knight to put down the board. I think that for now, I'm just going to try and reel my bishop back. Okay, so now, what happens if I put a pawn here? Because now he'll have a bishop, I will have a knight, assuming that he takes. Of course, I would rather that he just drops his queen, but we can't always get what we want, you know? And until then, I'll just be looking for devastating places to put my pawn and my new knight. I still might want to consider putting a pawn here on b5 just to take the defense away from this e7 square. That looks like it could be a nice place to put a knight eventually. Okay, so maybe best now is to open this up. I really want to be cautious about how many pawns I give him, especially with this open over here. But I just don't know. Okay, so I guess first we can just get the queen off that same diagonal as the knight. Crazyhouse is tricky. You cannot deny that. So as a downside, this does kind of limit the squares that my knight has to go to in the event of being kicked by a pawn. So now I kind of want to move this knight away, but I don't want him to be able to place a bishop here attacking the queen, so I think that for now maybe I just move the rook to a file that's likely to become open in the future. Okay, if he moves this pawn, I might consider placing a pawn on b7, and after bishop takes, placing a knight here, winning a rook or the dark squared bishop. Don't know that that would be a great idea, but always something to consider. I'm a huge fan of giving up pawns, but I mean, if it's a good move, it's a good move. So I could place a knight on d6 now and get a bishop, but I think I would rather not. Okay, does he have enough pawns to be a major nuisance anywhere? If not, I think I might consider d4. Yeah, let's go ahead and try that. Opening up my bishop to a, I guess he can push here, then play a pawn there, and my bishop. But I get a couple of pawns for it, and I imagine that I wouldn't be lost quite yet. Because that would be a lot of pawns that I had. Maybe I could put one like here and everywhere. Here, there, everywhere, you know. Stuff. Okay, that's a little bit of a weird place to put a bishop, because I think that I just win this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just win the bishop. Putting a pawn here, and now it's trapped. Okay, so now I think I might just take with my knight, although if I take with my knight, then he can play his bishop down there. So take with the bishop or with the queen. This is tough. He does have a couple of pawns now, but I think I'll take with the queen. And now I will want to get my extra piece that I no longer have, but extra pawns. I want to get some pieces back on the board ASAP. Giving him the knight instead of the bishop, because I don't want any shenanigans with him having a bishop to put down, like right there. Okay, so now I could put down a knight here with check. Not sure that that does anything, though. Okay, so maybe just dial the queen back a bit here. And wait for something, anything, to pan out. Okay, so I have to remember pawns that he could, whoops, place in annoying places. Kind of like that. Okay, so losing another piece. I guess I'll go for a pin. He does have kind of a lot of knights. 2, namely, but let's see, so he has 3, 4, 5. I have 3, so material bounce not exactly in my favor. I do have several more pawns than he does. Okay, so now I can maybe place a knight here. Or something of that nature. Or I can place a knight here. And go ahead, add one more knight to his pile. After I take his rook, he will have all of the knights. Although I could consider taking this pawn if I really wanted. But after I have the rook, then, I don't know, maybe I can wreak some havoc with the rook on the 7th. Okay, take that. And now, maybe how can I use my pawns to my advantage, I guess. So first I think I'm going to want to try and close up this center and drive the bishop. Actually, I could drive the bishop all the way back. So I think that his best bet here might be to just, like, take with the knight. Okay, he doesn't go for that, so now I can put a pawn here. Or here, maybe. I can place a pawn somewhere, I'm sure. Okay, gonna start running low on time soon, but I think here. Now he can't back up anymore, so he has to take this time. Yes, like now I take his knight and place a bishop right here, I think. Maybe. I guess there's this pawn that's hanging. Da, 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 da. Okay, maybe I place my rook on the 7th. No, not yet. Okay, wow time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take that knight. Go get that bishop. And I can just start placing some pieces. Because, okay, so I think now up here to drive the rook back. Okay, now a knight here. And let's go and take that and place a rook here. And okay, if I place a rook here, he can just interpose a piece. So I guess I'll just place pawn. This should still be good for me, I think. I do have to keep quite the eye on my time. Okay, if he places a knight on the board, I just take it with anything, I think, and then plunk a knight down right here. Okay, that's a little bit odd, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so hard to tell. So if I go up check, and then place a pawn here, the pawn that I just grabbed, then I can do that, and now I can be winning the knight. Okay, so now I win the knight with check, and now I place the knight here with check, and now I take the queen, not with check, but now I can place a queen here and checkmate him. Whew. Okay, so this is the madness that is Crazyhouse, and apparently it's an unrated game, so I didn't even gain anything from that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and play this guy as black as well. It's a bit harder playing as black, I think, in Crazyhouse. Just because, you know, initiative is a big thing. Okay, so I'm offering to exchange some pawns really early. Don't know how that's going to turn out. He's going ahead trying to get a pawn right there really early, so I'm going to go place my knight up. When he attacks there, I'll put my knight there. Maybe consider some things. Okay, so he can always place a pawn there, I suppose. Mildly annoying. Let's just get my bishop out, I guess. The sooner he places the pawn, the better I'll like. Okay, so... Yep, now adding another attacker to this pawn. I suppose he can place a pawn here. That could be a little bit annoying. But now he doesn't have any more pieces to place, which is something that makes it easier on me. Now let's see, things to be considered to do with my pawn. He has played f4, which does kind of drastically weaken his king. In fact, can I? No, I can't. No, that would be silly. That's a silly move. Okay, so if I place the pawn here, takes. He's getting a couple pawns, I'm getting a piece. Or I could just take right here, which I think I will do. I'm not seeing the downside. Takes. I guess he can do a discovery with the bishop. But then I take his bishop, he takes my knight. I think I can do this. I think I can do this. Oh yeah, then if he takes here, he can't take my knight because I have a knight that I could place here and win his queen. So, crisis averted. What does he have to place? He has a knight he can place. Can he place it anywhere that gives a check? Yes, he can place it on d6. Although, I'm not sure exactly what that would do for him, so I think maybe just take the bishop now. Take the bishop, and that should be good. Also to consider, I have a queen check, but I don't see what that would do for me as of right now. So yeah, I guess I'll just take that. And now actually maybe I can place a bishop here, attacking the queen, and now he has to block with a knight or something, and then I can place a pawn. And then I can place a pawn, or, I can place a knight where his queen is right now. And just pick up a rook. So things are going for me right now. Okay, so now I just placed... I placed the pawn. And the best part is, after I take there, I will still be able to, okay, I just take that. That is a non-issue. Okay, so now I take that. I guess maybe he goes here. I bring my bishop up. Okay, so attacking the queen. And if he plays the bishop down, maybe I play a pawn down. I guess he could play his bishop here. Takes queen, takes queen. I don't know, it's complicated, Crazyhouse. I think I'll want to get castled sooner rather than later. Okay, so now I can place one of my mini knights and go ahead and win a full rook. Okay, is there anything more productive I can do with other knights right now? Like, I don't know, go there. I don't think any of it's more productive. Next up, I could consider... So takes. Maybe check here. Could place a knight here, but then he takes with check. Complicated stuff. Okay, so takes. Maybe I just castle. But then he goes here. But maybe I'm fine after that. So I think I just castle now. Ooh, wait. Nope, he can take here. He can take here. Not good. Maybe I'll have something like check and then check. And okay, that I don't mind quite as much. So I guess I'll give a check there. He can't, oh, well yeah, he can block with that. So then I give him a check with the rook that I can put on the board. Okay, nope. Okay, so, now I could take this, or I could put a knight down. So I guess I do have a lot of knights. Let's see, also I could give a check here with the rook. And then bishop takes, queen takes. And I'm sure that that's close to a checkmate. Okay, so rook goes there. Rook goes there. Bishop takes, queen takes. King moves here. Yeah, it has to be close to a checkmate. The question is, what if he doesn't take? What if he just goes back up? Or goes right here? Okay, well, I think that first place a knight with check. And he'll probably run out of places eventually to hide. Okay, so I could place another knight with check. Or I could place a rook here with check. If I place the rook there with check, he has one square to go to. That's this one. And then I can play here. White just resigned. I guess he saw the rook there. So let's see what would happen. I'd put my rook here. He'd go up. I'd place a knight here, maybe. And, okay, so, wait, no, rook there doesn't even do anything because the bishop is on it. So maybe just rook here, actually. And I'm not sure. I don't know why he resigned. I might end up in this position just, like, stacking the rook for getting these couple pawns. But he has resigned, and I guess that will bring this Crazyhouse video to a close. Maybe next Crazyhouse video I can get a slightly stronger opponent, because as you can see, neither of us are particularly great at this variation. Like, if I bring up... Whoa, did not mean to do that. That's really bringing it up, but if I bring up the main console and I type best Crazyhouse, you can see that I'm 1300, and the best guy, he's like, yeah, 2400, so I've got quite a ways to go with Crazyhouse, but it's just a pleasant distraction, if anything. So, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you next time.